10:01, good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs, 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Lucas Panzica. The NFL season is officially over, and so is the coaching carousels. The Las Vegas Raiders officially announced Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as head coach, fresh off the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 victory over the Patriots. Alabama center Charles Bediako's injunction to continue playing this season was denied by an Alabama judge on Monday, ruling that Bediako is ineligible after he played in 5 games following his return to Alabama from the G League. Bediako averaged 10 points and 4.6 rebounds, and Alabama went 3-2 in that span. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're happy to have you. Robert, Lucas, and me with you until 1 o'clock. Some news to start the show out of Tuscaloosa, where the Circuit Court Judge Daniel Pruitt denied Charles Bediako's motion for a preliminary injunction to allow him to continue playing basketball for Alabama, and people are pissed on both sides. We're going to talk about that. We'll get into some Titans roster construction conversation later in the show. If you would like to participate at any point, 615-737-1045 is the number. The F&M Bank chat also at your disposal. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch if you would like to chime in. So, Bediako is no longer eligible to play. Charlie Baker, the president of the NCAA, put out a statement on the subject. Common sense won around today. I love the NCAA starting this off with the moral high ground, even though, most people would agree with them in this particular situation. The court saw this for what it is, an attempt by professionals to pivot back to college and crowd out the next generation of students. College sports are for students, not for people who already walked away to go pro and now want to hit the undo button at the expense of a teenager's dream. While we're glad the court upheld the rules our members actually want, one win doesn't fix the national mess of state laws. It's time for Congress to stop watching from the sidelines and help us provide some actual stability. So that is from Charlie Baker, the president of the NCAA. Who's more upset today? Alabama, who had a player made eligible, then all of a sudden he's not eligible, or teams like, Missouri would have lost anyway. They lost 90-64 against Alabama. Remember, as Lucas pointed out to me before the show started, that the Tennessee game was Bediako's first game playing, a game in which Tennessee won at Tuscaloosa by 6. They then went on to beat Missouri, lose to Florida, beat A&M, and beat Auburn in a couple of close games here. And if I'm Auburn and A&M, I'm looking around and being like, hey, the hell?
He hit every field goal attempt at Auburn, played 22 minutes, scored 12 points in a 4-point road victory. So, a lot of follow-up questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you vacate those wins? Does the selection committee still take those wins into consideration when determining NCAA tournament seeding? So many follow-ups. It is just a convoluted mess. Alabama's statement that they are disappointed in the ruling read like this, quote, the NCAA has granted eligibility to over 100 current men's basketball players with prior professional experience in the G League or overseas. Granting eligibility to some former professionals and not to others is what creates the havoc we are currently in and why consistency from decision makers is so desperately needed. Consistency from decision makers is desperately needed. I don't blame them, but it is a bit rich to see Alabama trying to harness the current chaos of college basketball and use it to back why a player should be able to decide his college career is over, declare for the draft, play a couple of years without achieving his NBA dreams, and then, as I think Scott Van Pelt, or as Charlie Baker said it rather, hit the undo button You don't get to hit the undo button after you played multiple years and then went pro. And Alabama acting like Charles Bediako's situation is the same as the situation of a player that maybe is from another country and played overseas before coming over to start his NCAA journey is laughable at best.
So this is, as Lucas correctly says, there are more questions than answers. I would vacate the wins. I think you almost have to. If you're Auburn and Texas A&M, that's the thing that you're probably banging on the table for most. Like, you don't have to give us a win, but they shouldn't get a win.
Especially Auburn, man. Like, those first 4 games, he's still playing under that temporary restraining order that was granted by a judge that is an Alabama donor who was basically forced to recuse himself for the obvious conflict of interest. But Auburn played Alabama and Charles Bediako the day after his hearing. And then the ruling came 2 days after that. I would be so mad if I was an Auburn fan. Like, you couldn't have made the ruling just a little bit earlier. You had to wait 3 full days to decide that, hey, this probably isn't something that should happen in college sports.
And it's different from the Baylor situation, as I understand it, because one never played college basketball and the other never signed an NBA contract, right?
The James Najee situation, he was a first-round draft pick in the NBA draft, but never
signed.
Never broke through, right, and did not play college basketball prior to that. He was drafted in the NBA draft straight out of Nigeria. And that is also, I feel like, not something that should happen. A guy who hears his name called in the first round playing college basketball after the fact. But the Bediako thing was a very individual circumstance.
Yeah, I've got less of an issue if you've never played college basketball with their, like, I understand your point and I understand why it would be a point of contention for other college basketball programs who may not have access to guys like that. But I do think that there is a difference to me between somebody who's never played college basketball and got drafted straight out of another country being granted some level of eligibility. It is a different kind of an undo button, right? A bit of a rewind type of situation. Bediako, 5 games, 10 points is what he averaged, 4.6 rebounds, 0.2 assists per game, shot 77.3 on his field goals. Crimson Tide were 3-2 over that stretch, as we mentioned, but now Bediako will not be available to them as they get ready to play Ole Miss in Oxford. When is that game? Tomorrow is the next time Alabama will take the court. So what do we make of Charlie Baker, though, here? Calling for congressional oversight as the head of the NCAA. Charlie Baker is in a pretty unique situation because on the one hand, it's hard for me to take anything that anybody from the NCAA says seriously when this is their sole purpose, to govern collegiate sports. Now, understanding that has taken on a huge new meaning in the current landscape where the finances have changed, where the money for the athletes is finally heading in the right direction. I still don't think we're seeing college athletes of any kind, football, basketball, baseball, what have you, realizing their full earnings potential because, again, they are still not seeing the television money that is where the greatest amount of money is. They're being, they're essentially being, what's the word that I'm looking for? They're being funded by a lot of these companies and things like that are supporting programs, boosters, and all these different things without actually being paid as employees the way that I personally think they should be.
Well, revenue sharing has crept in, but yes, they are not being paid. This is all 1099. Like, there are guys making millions on the football side, especially, of 1099 money.
But that tax situation for a lot of them is jarring when they, unless they had somebody advising them to make sure you get your taxes taken out quarterly of that.
Like, what do you write off in that case? It's like all of your stuff is paid for, all the travel, the gear. Oh man!
But to invoke Congress, if you are the party, party's the wrong word. If you are the entity that is supposed to govern this, and you can't do your job, and you are calling for Congress, does that fall on deaf ears a little bit? Because I do agree with him. There probably should be congressional oversight. The whole reason we're in this situation is because it went to the Supreme Court. It was declared unconstitutional, and finally athletes were able to realize at least a portion of their earnings potential. Because what he's saying here, and probably the biggest thing that I disagree with in this specific statement, is the idea that college sports are for students. I don't think that you have to be in the modern age of collegiate athletics. To me, they are more pro sports than they are amateur. There is nothing amateur about the current state of collegiate athletics. Now, you could argue that once you get into the FCS conversation, if you're talking about, different levels, or if you're getting into Grambling State versus Alabama or something like that, that there are some subdivisions that could be metered out here. But I don't think it's for students anymore. If they want to go and make money and see their earnings potential far outweigh their opportunities as a pro athlete by the conventional sense, I think they should be able to make that kind of money. But the NCAA is still hanging on to this idea of amateurism that I think is dead and gone.
I struggle with it because it is dead and gone, but there are also far more, especially in basketball, there are far more student athletes that fall under that amateur category than the ones that fall under the professional category, than the ones that are making money, making six figures into $1 million, $2 million a year. There are 364 NCAA men's basketball teams in Division I alone, not even including Division II and on down. So the percentage is so small of the guys that fall under that, but it's also so skewed. I don't even know at this point what the right thing for the NCAA to do is. This is all a product of their own making, yes, of decades of just sitting back and letting the state of things pass them by. By the time it was way too late, everything comes crashing down and we're in this mess. But every time they try to do anything or enforce anything, they're hit with litigation and more litigation. So I don't know. I don't know what to look at for Charlie Baker and the NCAA and say, well, this is what you should start doing, because they really are kind of helpless. And this is a rare win for the NCAA that had to be won by a judge. I suppose, they had representatives in the matter, but what does this mean for Trinidad Chambliss? What does this mean for Joey Aguilar? Does it mean anything for those two cases? Those are two very different circumstances. They're both seeking eligibility the way Bediako was, but under a completely different pretext, right? Aguilar is arguing that JUCO shouldn't count towards NCAA eligibility. Chambliss is arguing for a medical hardship in a season that he did not play a snap in 2022 at Ferris State. No clue if this is a butterfly effect whatsoever of us seeing more NCAA victories in court, which has not been a common trend over the last few years.
I think that's why Charlie Baker is calling for congressional oversight, because he doesn't think they're going to win many more of these situations. This feels more like a one-off than it does like a widespread trend, and it seems like he realizes that based on the wording of his statement.
Isn't the government, don't people think the government's going to shut down soon? Like, I don't know anything about these things, but like I see scuttlebutt that people are predicting a government shutdown.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, not a conversation for here. My point is, not going to happen anytime soon, Charlie.
If you want to.
Not going to happen anytime soon.
They're currently arguing over ICE funding, which if you want to bring that to the radio show, we can loop it back into the Super Bowl halftime and have a big time.
That's the point. That's the discussion that they're having.
Look how scared Lucas got. He's running away.
Oh, no, but over at WTN, like, they're talking about these things, and while Charlie Baker's like, Congress, do something, it's like, buddy, this is not going to happen.
It's probably lower on the docket. Although, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on who, like, seriously, we don't have to make this a political conversation, but I do think that there are some political elements to somebody like Donald Trump or if Joe Biden were to wade into these waters in a previous administration, or whomever the next president is afterwards. Isn't there some political ground to be gained by jumping in seeing this as a winning position for you in an election year or something like that, and saying, yes, I'm going to be the person who said, Trump's doing a little bit of this, right? Like, whether or not he actually has an impact, I think he's been messaging a lot about the state of collegiate athletics. Not to dive into the details on this, but I do think that there are some things that people may prioritize because they feel like it's an easy win for them politically. And sports, whether or not you actually enact the change that you say you're going to enact, it feels like an easy message to grandstand on for either party, I think.
Yeah.
615-737-1045 is the number. All right, so we talked about the Super Bowl at great length yesterday. Now let's talk about how you achieve the heights that these two respective teams achieved. Yes, the Patriots lost and lost in dramatic fashion, but there are lessons to be taken away from both teams that participated, and we'll talk about those lessons coming up next. Anytime there's a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl champion, everybody who didn't win the Super Bowl, all 31 other clubs, and the people that talk about them, that cover them, that root for them, start to wonder, okay, how can my team do that? And there's multiple ways to build a Super Bowl. Lucas, you were pointing out correctly before the show started that it feels like we tend to hyperfixate on one specific thing, one takeaway from any one Super Bowl year, when in reality, the best team usually wins the game.
Yeah, we could go back as far as that 2020 season, COVID year, Brady's Bucks beating Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and it was all about the pass rush. Yes, Tom Brady, absolutely, but you had to have an elite pass rush if you wanted to defeat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to win a Super Bowl, right? And then Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs started winning Super Bowls, and Matthew Stafford and the Rams won a Super Bowl, and you have to have a superstar quarterback. Mm-hmm. You have to have an MVP caliber quarterback, and it just snaps. And here we are. The Seattle Seahawks have just won a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, who was excellent in the postseason, but they did it by dominating the Patriots defensively and only letting them cross the 51 time in the first three quarters. And it's got to have a dominant defense to win a Super Bowl. Got to have a Mike McDonald caliber defense. See, you can win it with Sam Darnold if you have a Mike McDonald defense. When in reality, you just need a good football team, right? You just need a little bit of everything. It's just funny how we try to overcommit to one or the other in the general discussion, and it leads to trends in coaching hires across the league.
So we will pivot to that here in just a second. And the poll question that I would ask you on Twitter, where you can vote on the polls or react to the polls, is what is the most important component of a championship NFL team? 615-737-1045. We'll talk about it here in just a second, and you guys can weigh in the meantime. We'll work our way through that exercise here in just a second. What is the most important component of a championship caliber NFL team? But first, there is controversy that needs to be addressed. Robert, you are beside yourself.
I don't even want to talk about it, dude.
Actually? You are genuinely upset.
Right now.
For the audience, like maybe sometimes you think we're doing bits. I feel like for the most part, it's a pretty organic show. You are genuinely bothered by a missed opportunity that you have been scheming for what? A week?
Like 2 weeks.
There's nothing you could have done, buddy.
I don't even care because, like, okay, this is how I look at it. If we ever have an opportunity to do something that's, like, semi-viral or cool, like, I'm going to try to do it and get it for us to do as a show.
At the expense of my intestinal tract, that
well, you
hot
wouldn't
chip.
have done it anyway. You would not have done it. But Lucas and
hot chip, but yes,
Lucas and I, okay, I'll give you that. If you're unfamiliar, McDonald's for Valentine's Day was doing a caviar giveaway in which in this caviar package, you would have received free kits approximately include $120 of value, including premium caviar, a $25 gift card, creme fraiche. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly because I only know it off South Park.
Creme fraiche.
And a serving spoon. Drop time was today at soon as the show started.
Yeah. You had the countdown on in the production room. You were locked in, and Lucas has since done some research on this, and it sounds like the website crashed because they were just giving it away for free, right?
Correct. Yeah. There was estimated to be, which this is a huge estimation, estimated between 100 to 1,000 kits of this.
Which in the country?
Yeah, like available. So anyone that goes to this website could get them. But the problem is the website crashed. As soon as the countdown ended. And so you get this message, sold out. Unfortunately, our McNugget caviar was everyone's Valentine. I want to cuss so bad. So I was like, okay, everyone went to try to grab this to resell it because that's all we're trying to do is make a little money off something.
Isn't that what you did with the Levis cologne?
I didn't sell it, but yes, that was my plan. If he was good, I was going to hold it and sell it when he became good.
Very good.
Still have 3 bottles of that crap. Then I go to eBay to try to find, okay, someone is selling it. Great, I can buy this.
Already?
Yes, already. Someone is like, hey, I have a confirmation that I have this order coming in.
This is like the ticket scalper secondary market. These people are sharks.
Yeah, sounds shady.
You don't know how quickly people like me go for things like this.
I guess not.
So I click on the eBay thing, $50 or best offer. So I was just going to pay the $50 just to get it. But as soon as I click it, the posting was done at 10:21. 6 minutes ago, someone bought it in less than a minute for $50. It has not been posted anywhere else. So I apologize to the audience. I apologize to my mom, who I also sent to this website to try to get a second one.
It's okay, buddy.
I'm just upset that I'm on top of this.
It was a good idea.
How many people were on top of this?
A lot of, apparently.
I think it was a sham. I think it was all fake.
It might have been.
And there's only like 50 of these because they sent it to BuzzFeed and Hot Ones and all these other people ahead of time. Oh, this sturgeon caviar is really good. Get out of here. I don't want to see some famous person eating this. I wanted to see a regular person eating. I wanted to see me eating this.
Like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
I don't care anymore. I
also was very much looking forward to the potential of trying McDonald's caviar.
It's not even
I would have done it for the bit, but like the after effects of that were not going to be worth it, right? Like nobody was expecting to feel good after they ate the McDonald's caviar.
But it wasn't McDonald's caviar. It's not like they have a sturgeon factory with a bunch of grown men gently pressing on the belly of a sturgeon to poo their caviar out. Like they bought someone else's caviar. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy. Well, I do want to talk about this. We'll be at T-Line on Thursday. That's right. The entire station for our Sweep, Sip, and Snack Curling Challenge.
Except the morning show.
This Thursday, February 12th. But they'll come hang out. They'll come curl.
I didn't know.
Grab your team, hit the ice, and test your skills, whether you're a seasoned curler or a first-time sweeper wanting to try the sport. It's all the rage. Whenever the Winter Olympics come around, you can purchase a ticket for discounted ice time. It gets you a 30-minute curling session and an appetizer for only $25. We'll be there. Cover 2, 3HL will be there, broadcasting live this Thursday at T-Line Nashville. Go to 1045thezone.com. I can't wait. So, what is the most extreme example of a team chasing each trend that appears to come out of, let's say, every other Super Bowl, right? What is the team with the superstar quarterback, but certainly not the front seven, not the defense, much less the front seven to back it up?
Oh, most recently the Chiefs.
I was going to say the Bengals.
No, their defense was good that year. Their offensive line was not.
I'm talking about, like, currently, like this season. In the last 2 years, the Bengals have had Joe Burrow when healthy and a tragically bad defense, right?
The Chiefs were not a tragically bad defense, but the defense took several steps backwards en route to there's multiple issues with Kansas City beyond
Chiefs were a pretty good defense this past year.
Mahomes, but they were substantially worse than they have been. They have been one of the league's best.
They were still
which is how they were surviving with these lesser offensive performances.
They were like top 5 in most major defensive categories. The Bengals defense has been atrocious, right?
Years.
That's the extreme.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow in an atrocious defense for 2 years. Who has the flip side? Who has the electric front that can affect any quarterback, that can change any game, but does not have the franchise quarterback to power you to wins?
Oh, it's a good question.
And there may not be one.
No, you would have to you would have to go through some of the advanced analytics, I think, to determine, all right, which team felt like it was left for dead offensively? Because the example of this in the Super Bowl is, I mean, the Patriots have a franchise quarterback, they think. Drake May had a tough run through the postseason and apparently battled through injury. That came out today. But the defense was awesome. Like, they didn't lose that Super Bowl because of the defense. Robert, you have an example?
Yeah, Robert had it. Salah's Jets defenses, right, with Zach Wilson on the other side. The F&M Bank chat is saying the current version of that is Cleveland.
The Browns.
Yeah, this season, it's absolutely the Browns with Myles Garrett and whatever their quarterback situation was this past year. So the answer is somewhere in the middle, right? I guess, is the answer just complimentary football, a well-rounded football team? And yes, it helps to have the MVP caliber quarterback in the elite front seven. But at the end of the day, just build your football team with conviction in what you believe will be the right pieces to give you the best chance to win without chasing whatever recent results in the Super Bowl have everybody saying, oh, okay, that's what you need. Go do that.
Isn't Seattle the best example of that over multiple generations now? Because John Schneider has done this in a couple of different ways. They got close to the postseason with Geno, but they never really broke through, right? They finished 10-7 this prior season, the 2024 season, and with a few tiebreakers saw themselves outside the postseason picture, but they were still a good enough football team, and they had some of the things that they had this year that helped propel them over the top. I didn't hear anybody from a smart football standpoint, from an X's and O's standpoint, from a media standpoint, even the most opinionated people, I did not hear anybody say that Geno Smith going to the Raiders, Sam Darnold was an upgrade over Geno Smith. Nobody took that position, right? There was nobody credible taking the position of Sam Darnold is an upgrade over modern day, before this season, Geno Smith.
Oh, no, I think some people took that position. Most people did not take the position that Sam Darnold was upgrading the situation around him. I think people thought that was a downgrade. Offensive line, wide receiver situation was going down.
Significantly worse offensive line in 2024 than they ended up being in 2025. Like, there was a step forward there that while you still have a lot of the same pieces and parts who are playing on that offensive line, they were an appreciably better unit year over year.
Yeah, but there were plenty of people saying Sam Darnold wasn't. Sam Darnold had a far better 2024 season than Geno Smith did. I think the argument was about, okay, but is he going to be in as good a position to succeed in Seattle as he was in Minnesota?
Which is also a fair discussion to have. So there is no one definitive way to go about this, right? Like, think about the Rams, where they catch some backlash for the bleep them picks situation. They land their superstars. It all works out in the end. You have the Chiefs, who built around, they had some really good rookies in that 2022 season where they went on to win was that the second Super Bowl win for Mahomes? Or was that the third, 2022? I
want to say it was the second, because the 2020 season was when they lost
to the Bucs.
Yeah.
Who won the Super Bowl in 21?
The Rams.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I just said that. So there is, John Schneider may be one of the least discussed. He will, of course, now be talked about at great length, but he doesn't seem to get a lot of the top executive love. He's been consistent and he's been solid, but I think he caught a lot of heat for the Pete Carroll move, where they were just kind of like, all right, we're going to ship Pete upstairs and bring in this young gun who's the last guy in the cycle to be hired, who took a bunch of interviews elsewhere and didn't get those jobs. Does John Schneider know something that the rest of the world doesn't? Clearly, he does. Now, he also has a great partner in Mike McDonald to help put that together, but he's the first general manager in NFL history to make the Super Bowl multiple times with the same franchise, but two entirely different rosters and coaching staffs.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm reading from ESPN.
Didn't Ozzie Newsome also do that?
With the entirely different rosters and coaching staffs, there was no holdovers whatsoever from the Ravens.
Okay, so you're saying literally every single player from that last Seahawks Super Bowl, there's not a single. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because Ray Lewis was on.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis was Ogden wasn't on the second Super Bowl team.
He wasn't. So I think the stat you're thinking of is the Ari Myrov stat I put in the chat yesterday. That was GMs to win a Super Bowl with the same team, but with a different head coach and quarterback.
Right.
And that was John Schneider, Howie Roseman, and former Ravens general manager Ozzie Newsome.
Okay,
so you're saying players who have participated in a Super Bowl with other clubs, but there is not a single player.
Like 100% of some is
total
complete
turnover.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, I get that. The Ravens roster was pretty drastically different, but I suppose you did have some pillars like Ray Lewis.
Ray might have been the only one.
Yeah,
I think it was Ray because Ed Reed was the year after, Terrell Suggs a couple years after.
Yeah.
So Ozzie by a hair, but Ray Lewis was also a pretty important piece for both of those teams. Even though that was Ray's last year, right, when they won it in 12? Yeah. So the answer is maybe John Schneider is just better at this than the vast majority of his peers. Because it's how often do we assign, okay, that guy's good at his job, and then it fades? Robinson is a great example of that. John Robinson was good at the job until he wasn't. Les Snead seems to have some pretty good staying power in Los Angeles. He also has a great partner in Sean McVay to help him with that. There's just not that many people who are sustainably good at those jobs for that long, especially when you start to work your way into the low 20s, early 30s. So is the common denominator here just have a better GM than the rest of the league?
Yeah, I think so.
The root source, right? Because GM usually hires the coach. Sometimes there's an inverse situation, right? Mike Mularkey got hired before John Robinson did, and by the Titans, there's other examples of that elsewhere.
Yeah, you need a general. Here's how you win a Super Bowl. You need a general manager that gets you the quarterback and gets you the front seven and gets you the number one receiver and gets you the cornerback
And
depth and the offensive
coaching
line
staff
and the
that makes
coach.
sense,
So, you just have to have good things across the board to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
we solved it.
Is that the root? Is that the root cause? And how hard is that to do over multiple generations? Because again, Schneider's the only one to do it that way, to that extreme, and he doesn't get talked about that way.
Yeah, LCT on the F&M Bank chat points out he trades DK. He bets on JSN to take that step, and that's exactly what JSN does.
How pissed are DK and Lockett today?
Just missed it by that much.
Yeah. 615. Somebody also said Schneider is who people think Chris Ballard is. I don't know. I feel like media people are not high on Chris Ballard. I've been wondering for years why Chris Ballard still has a job, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. 615-737-1045. What do I have to give away, Robert, if people call in and tell us what in sports made them say, oh no, this week?
We've got Godsmack tickets.
Okay, Godsmack tickets. 615-737-1045. If you want the opportunity to go to that concert, just call in and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you because if you've had sexual health issues, those can take a serious toll on a guy's confidence, relationships, and overall quality of life. If you leave these issues untreated, conditions like low T, ED, or PE can lead to frustration, isolation, and even depression. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, you can get the help that you need. They specialize in helping men take back control of their health, their energy, and their intimacy. Whether you're looking to revive your performance, boost your energy, or feel like yourself again, the Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help. They have multiple clinics across Middle Tennessee that will provide a confidential, judgment-free environment designed exclusively for men. So don't wait to feel better. Contact the Tennessee Men's Clinic nearest you today. You can give them a call at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 or book easily online in under 30 seconds at thetennesseemensclinic.com. for the opportunity to win Godsmack tickets and a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. If you haven't done your Valentine's Day shopping yet, what better way than a Moment's Peace? 615-737-1045. That's the number. You can call in. We'll get to your submissions here in just a second. I will start the bidding with Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick. So Robert and I were arguing about this during the break because he thinks I'm wrong about this. So do you think that I should use the reckless speculation sound on it, Robert, before I get into this?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
It's not real.
All right. What do you mean it's not real?
Like whether your opinion of it is true or my opinion of it is true has no bearing over the situation. Like I feel like the reckless speculation noise is for saying something that would have a bearing or would change someone's opinion of it. But like mine nor your opinion of it is going to change the perception of what was done.
Fair enough. So, Bill Belichick. Damn it.
Oh, sorry. Slip of the finger.
Bill Belichick is the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. North Carolina played Duke over the weekend. Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, were in attendance. Jordan Hudson is wearing a T-shirt from the Orchids of Asia Day Spa. Now, that may not mean anything to you unless you're familiar with Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, and his 2019 prostitution bust at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa, a strip mall location in Jupiter, Florida, in what can only be a dig at the Patriots owner. Now, whether Bill Belichick knowingly put her up to it or she did it on her own or Bill was okay with going along with it, either way, this just continues a trend of Bill Belichick problematic behavior being attached to this woman in a situation where she is comfortable in one of the most public spotlights moments of Bill Belichick's life, where he doesn't get into the Hall of Fame, where the Patriots are back into the Super Bowl. He's at the UNC Duke game as the UNC head coach, and he is standing next to her the whole way through in this Orchids of Asia Day Spa shirt. I mean, you would have to go out of your way. This would have to be premeditated, right? Whether it's a custom shirt or you ordered it from the Orchids of Asia website or you Amazoned it to your home, it is one of the most public digs at Bob Kraft in one of his worst public moments ever that I can think of. And I just think it's a horrendous look by both of them, whether Bill Belichick willingly participated or not. He was out in public with her in this Orchids of Asia T-shirt. It's a terrible look.
Man, the Belichick
It's bizarre.
Off-field arc is just
very bizarre.
Fascinating, to say the least. The Lady Vols made me say, oh, no, this week. Kim Caldwell, Lady Vols head coach, stepped up to the podium after Tennessee was dragged 93-50 at South Carolina on Sunday. 2 games before that, Tennessee went to number 1 UConn, who they defeated last year in Kim Caldwell's signature win, and lost 96-66. So the Lady Vols, in their 2 matchups recently against top 3 opponents, have been outscored a combined 189-116. And to make matters worse, Kim Caldwell had this to say in the post-game press conference.
We just had a lot of quit in us tonight, and that's been something that's been consistent with our team is we're not comfortable and things don't go our way, and I have a team that'll just quit on you. And you can't do that in big games. You can't do that anytime in the SEC, but you certainly can't do that at a program like this.
Kim Caldwell has brought Tennessee up to a place where they are doing a lot of what they were doing under Kelly Harper. That win over UConn was a bigger moment than anything Kelly Harper did, certainly in the latter part of her tenure at Tennessee. Lady Vols are 15-6, 7-2 in SEC play. They are the number 22 team in the country, but the issue has been for years now the gap between Tennessee and the South Carolinas of the world. They play a top 5 Texas team on Sunday. They have to finish the season with a top 5 Vanderbilt team. That's one of the best in the country. And Kim Caldwell, and just some of the stuff, the body language you saw from Tennessee's bench in that game certainly is what made me say, oh no, this week.
What size T-shirt are you guys?
Large.
2 larges. Okay, I can get us an Orchids of Asia T-shirt here by next Tuesday. $22.
$22 a pop?
Yep.
I'm good with that.
Okay, cool deal.
It's a little different for us to do it than them.
I'll put the order in. I just think it's funny.
What size T-shirt do you think Bill Belichick wears?
My oh no goes to, did you guys, I don't know if you guys saw this. I put it in our Instagram chat, but I was kind of surprised by this. So Boomer Esiason was talking on, what do you say their radio station is?
WFAN?
WFAN. I was calling it WFAN, but maybe that's not,
No.
it's my ceiling fan when I'm trying to go to sleep.
People in New York would be wildly offended.
Boomer's talking about how much it cost Sam Darnold to play in the Super Bowl. Just to play. How much it cost, not how much he got paid, how much it cost him. Here was Boomer talking about it.
The winning team, each player gets $178,000. In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And because the game was played in California, and California has a jock tax, and they look at duty days, so each team spends 7 days in the state of California. So those are 7 duty days, and they pierce your regular salary at 3.5%. So he has to pay, when you take into account he got the $178,000 plus his overall salary, he has to pay the state of California for spending 7 days there $249,000.
That's just so stupid.
It ends up costing him $71,000 to go play in California. So if I'm the NFLPA, I'm like, hey, we're not playing any more Super Bowls in California. We're just not doing it.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy that, hey, guys, come on in. Biggest game of the year. You better be on your best. Better put on a good product for people watching at home. There's going to be a huge halftime show. We're going to make a boatload of money off these commercials. And, oh, by the way, since the game's in California, you owe the state $71,000. Talk to you guys later.
That's brutal.
It's just, and they're all making enough money where they can pay for it.
Yeah, but still.
But it's crazy that the NFLPA wouldn't just pay these fines or someone to pay this tax for
what
them.
Boomer is saying is that the NFLPA should actively protest the state of California.
For the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, well, and he goes into a longer definition talking about like, then you have to think about he plays in San Francisco once a year. He plays the Rams in California once a year. So he's really getting bent over by, like, I signed this lower end deal with Seattle, 3 years, and I think the AAV was around $35 million. So not top of the market quarterback money. And then he gets bent over on taxes to have to play in California twice a year. I just thought that was funny. That's what made me say,
It's not funny. It's horrendous, but yeah.
I like to laugh at other people who have to pay taxes that are larger than my yearly salary. Yeah. I love that. That would kill me. Oh, yeah, by the way, Bert, you need to pay $71K. All right, well, I'll be an indentured servant for the next 4.5 years to pay for that.
Washing dishes at Levi Stadium for the rest of your life.
Yeah, what can I get you? 2 large beers? Yep, jealous. Wish I could afford these, too.
Did you see the prices at the Super Bowl? It was outrageous.
Did you see
$36 for a margarita?
Did you see the burger? The $180 XL LX burger?
It looked insane.
It was like a hatchet, or what are those called? The ribeyes that have the bone in them, the cowboy steaks. I can't remember what the actual term.
Like tomahawk?
Tomahawk. I knew it was something like that. It has like a tomahawk in the middle of it with like all the stuff and a bun fabricated around the bone.
But $80 is not bad for a tomahawk steak.
It could feed like 4 people, it looked like. or one Robert.
Me and Lucas would be like, I'm still hungry. We're gnawing on the bone.
One of the most disgusted moments I've had with Robert is we were on our way to Little Hats to go get those giant sandwiches that they have, and he needed something so badly on his stomach before we got there that he made me pull over at a gas station and get him a corn dog.
I remember because you would not let me eat the corn dog in the car.
Hell no.
You made me
not
eat
eating a corn dog in my car.
I rub mustard on the bottom of your seats every time I ride with you. Don't ever look underneath your seats. Just a bunch of Zins and cigarette butts and any condiment packets I can rub on the bottom of that Two Rivers Ford donation.
Shout out Two Rivers. 615-737-1045 is the number. Eric is next.
Hey, guys, I wouldn't be offended if you give my prize to somebody else for Valentine's Day because I'm not involved with anybody, so let's just do that. But my no, guys, has got to go to the Super Bowl commercials. In general, they were just awful. They were very, very terrible. The only one I liked was the Coldplay deal with the polar bears and the Pepsi commercial. That was funny. But the worst one, guys, was the toilet. We're talking about the color of your urine. Now, guys, who approves of these things? And I just think there's some things people would just think, is that really a good idea? You spent $10 million for that? Guys, I think that ad certainly needs to be flushed down the toilet. Guys, that's my no. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Eric.
And he lands the dismount.
Robert and I were talking about Super Bowl commercials last night on primetime. I really liked the tight ends prostate exam. Like, unclench your tight end. I thought that was pretty good.
It was well done. Yeah.
I honestly, like, Budweiser just leaning full into Clydesdale horse with baby American Eagle.
Yeah, that was awesome.
To Freebird. I thought that was kind of sick.
That was awesome. I like the Instacart with Ben Stiller and what's the guy's name with the mustache?
Oh,
that does the flips.
I only half paid attention to that
Benny
one.
something.
I looked up and Ben Stiller was dressed as the Globo Gym guy falling off a stage.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Is it PIM? P-I-M?
It's Tim with a T.
Tim. All right, very good.
That ain't what you said on the phone, Tim.
Yeah, my old note for the week is the Super Bowl, the jab that was thrown at Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And no call for that. But I'm not saying that it would have changed the outcome of the game, but these officials, they got paid more attention.
It was an
That's
egregious
my old note
missed
for the
call.
week.
It's a great submission. Tim.
Thanks,
from
Pim.
Murfreesboro. Pim. I was like,
I hope Pim wins.
I think Pim's the winner.
all right, very good. Sperling? Are you sure? Is it Sperling or Sterling?
I don't know, dude.
All
These
right.
phones are so tough. I have people spell it, and I swear to God, he said P-I-M. I was like, Pim, okay. Like, that sounds like an alien's name, but
Definitely
whatever.
Sterling.
All right, person on line number 1. What is your
He doesn't
name?
know the line he's on.
My name is Sterling, and I
What is that? I asked like 3 times.
Go ahead, Sterling, even though Robert spelled it incorrectly on the screener.
yes, the situation that happened with Lindsey Vaughn
Oh,
with the
yeah.
broken leg,
That's bad.
I was real bad.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah, hard to watch.
Oh, man, I think I'm in favor of Sterling. Don't call him Sperling.
Yeah, that's the winner.
The Lindsey Vaughn thing is brutal.
She's a badass, but that was
A
tough.
fractured leg on the torn ACL. It's not the same leg, is it?
It was the same leg.
Oh.
Yes.
Man, she took it all the way.
All right. Well, congratulations to Sterling.
Congratulations, Sperling.
He gets a
he may not
$100.
want he may not want the gift either, so we may have to go to Pim. I'll do all that in post.
Okay. You handle
Or
the
toast.
logistics. Shut up and go to break.
It is 11:02. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. The NFL season is officially over, and so is the coaching carousel, as the Raiders have officially announced Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as head coach, fresh off the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 win over the Patriots. That is 10 head coaching openings filled across the NFL. Alabama center Charles Bediako's injunction to continue playing this season was denied by an Alabama judge on Monday. He ruled Bediako ineligible after he played in 5 games following his return to Bama from the G League. Bediako averaged 10 points and 4.6 rebounds, and Alabama went 3-2 in that span. College hoops action tonight. Vanderbilt looking to bounce back from the home loss to Oklahoma, heads to Auburn for a 6 p.m. tip-off at Neville Arena. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
We are officially in the NFL offseason as of yesterday. It won't take long before things start to kick up in earnest. We've got about, 2 weeks of downtime before the combine really gets going. And as we head into this offseason, it's worth talking about some of the biggest storylines that will define this offseason. So we already have one answer to the first question that I think we can start with here, which is about retirements. There are 3 big players, 3 name brand players in the NFL right now who there were going to be questions about whether they wanted to play in 2026. We already have an answer to one of those. Can you name the 3 players that I'm referencing here? And the one who has already declared his intentions.
Kelsey.
Oh,
who has already declared that they're retiring?
Happened less than a week ago. Not that they're retiring, that they're returning to play.
Oh, Stafford.
And Aaron Rodgers would be the third, right? We're just going to probably be hanging out here in the wind, though it sounds like there's a better chance than not that Aaron Rodgers returns with Mike McCarthy. Which is the more impactful potential retirement to their team, Aaron Rodgers or Travis Kelce?
Ooh.
Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, which inherently carries greater value. Travis Kelce is fading at this point in his career, but God knows they don't have many reliable targets on that Kansas City offense right now.
So the report around Rodgers was from Tom Pelissero. The quote was, odds are increasing that he returns to the Steelers to obviously reunite with Mike McCarthy, his coach in Green Bay, for several years. It would be his 22nd season in the NFL. Travis Kelce, pull up his numbers from last season. Kelce had the least productive season he has had since 2024. He was not terribly productive in 2024.
Not in the regular season, though. He, it was one of those things where he turned it on the postseason. They've been kind of managing him as he gets older.
He did have the fewest number of receptions that he has had since his second year in the league back in 2015. 76 catches, 851 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I would say Rodgers, because I just don't know where the Steelers turn elsewhere.
3,300 passing yards, 24 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. His QBR ranked 23rd among qualified quarterbacks last year, 44.4.
Kelce will turn 37 during the season in early October, while Rodgers is 41 years of age.
Yes, will be 42.
And for what it's worth, both of those stat lines are incredible for someone of their age.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
800 yards of total yard or offense output for Kelce. Has Chig ever even come close to that as a athletic 20-something-year-old?
He's been around that 400 or 500-yard mark every year of his career. Rodgers is 42, will turn 43 during the season in early December.
I'm inclined to think it's Kelce, because I think that you can have other options if Aaron Rodgers at an advanced age retires, right? Kirk Cousins is expected to be released from the Atlanta Falcons. Your free agent quarterback list is not impressive, and that will be the next subject that we talk about here where the top pending free agents at the quarterback position, including Aaron Rodgers, are him, Daniel Jones, Malik Willis, Gardner Minshew, coming off a bum knee, and Jimmy Garoppolo, who's the backup quarterback for the Rams presently, and who it would make sense if they decided to keep him as the backup quarterback in L.A. So it's really Malik Willis, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, Aaron Rodgers. How much better is Aaron Rodgers than those other three at this point in his career? Understanding that Rodgers has played and seen a million times more defenses, understands how to put players in position to succeed. He's also much less malleable than all those other players. If you get Aaron Rodgers, you are signing up for the full Aaron Rodgers experience, and that is not as much a player who will play for you as who will expect a partner that you will have to work around.
Who knows that better than Mike McCarthy?
Fair.
That's the thing that kind of makes me pause. In any other situation, I would probably say now is about as good a time as ever to move on from Aaron Rodgers, even if it's a murky situation at best, to look to replace him. But it's that partnership with Mike McCarthy that if Aaron Rodgers is going to squeeze all the juice out of his 42nd year of life in the NFL, his 22nd year in the NFL, his 42nd year as a human being.
It's absurd.
It would be with Mike McCarthy.
I think it's Kelsey, though, man. I think if you take the mind meld guy away from Mahomes, where he's still very much in a state of transition, especially coming off an injury of consequence that's probably going to cost him a little bit of time, I think that the more detrimental retirement would be Travis Kelce if he, in fact, chooses to retire. We don't have any strong indication one way or the other that he will or won't.
There was reporting over the weekend that he either will or he won't.
Very good.
No middle ground there. Is another part to think about it, at least from both, like to play devil's advocate about that, why each part could be the bigger impact. There is a Will Howard aspect to the Steelers as well, where they wouldn't necessarily have to go out and spend top of free agency money to snag a Malik Willis. They could do the Pittsburgh thing and dance with who you brought and play him, which it's the more time goes on, and Ramon would have a better feel about this than I do, but it seems like he is the succession plan. He is the heir apparent, where they will bring him along.
Interesting. Does that matter with the coaching change?
I mean, that could certainly impact it, but the way beat writers and people that follow the Steelers closely are talking about it, everyone was very impressed with how Will Howard prepared, handled himself, handled the juxtaposition between him and Aaron.
Did he have an injury?
He had a hand injury to start the year,
That's
yes. Right. And then to the Kelce portion, I gave this stat earlier in the offseason or earlier in the season, but it has changed as some re-signings have happened. So there are 63 total starting tight ends in the league, about 64 if you want to look at it, but players that played a starting caliber worthy of snaps. 9 of those are free agents, which means 15% of the league's starting tight ends are free agents. So there would be no shortage of suitors for an Isaiah Likely, a Kyle Pitts, a who's the Dallas Goedert. There would be suitors if Travis Kelce decided to ride off into the sunset. They wouldn't be totally barren. But I think both of those could either have a major impact or a lesser impact, to quote the Rodgers, will he, won't he?
Yeah, so that's interesting. We're talking about 2 long-standing partnerships that have won titles in McCarthy/Rodgers and Kelce/Mahomes. Which one can get more juice in 2026?
It's an interesting conversation because I don't think there's a definitive answer there. Because, with Kelce, right, or with either of them, we're just waiting for the end. We're just kind of waiting for the point in their careers where it ceases to matter as much as it has for the rest of their existence. And then the tailspin off of that conversation is the quarterback movement. I listed those pending free agent quarterbacks, the top pending free agent quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, Malik Willis, Gardner Minshew, Jimmy Garoppolo, and soon to be Kirk Cousins. That is the expectation that Atlanta will release him under new general manager Ian Cunningham, who came to Atlanta from the Bears. What on earth is this situation going to look like for teams? How many teams need a quarterback and are not going to be able to find a viable solution in the draft? Like, Ty Simpson makes sense if you're the Rams because Stafford's going to play and you could take him at 12. Hell, you could trade back if you wanted to and probably still get him later in the first round. But you can take a Ty Simpson in this situation and have a plan to kind of work your way up. If you're content to move on from Garoppolo at this point, you'd rather get ready for the next thing and get a head start on that. Allow Ty Simpson the opportunity to develop and learn under a guy who's I don't want to do the first ballot Hall of Fame thing with Stafford, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, Matt Stafford, one would imagine. What on earth are teams who can't solve their quarterback problems, and there are many teams that have quarterback problems through the draft, going to do in free agency? Is there going to be a substantial market for Malik Willis? How much money do we think on an average annual basis Malik's going to make next year? Because I bet it's closer to 30.
Yeah, oh yeah, it will be. I mean, it'll be more than Justin Fields got with the Jets, and that was a 2-year, $40 million contract.
Man, that's crazy. Good for Malik.
Yeah.
Just on principle. Whether that works out for him, depending on where he goes, and I would hope he would be selective if there is some kind of bidding opportunity for him. But, man, that's just a crazy thing to say into a microphone with definitive nature, right? That Malik Willis will be probably a $30 million a year player next year after I wouldn't say he crashed out here, but he got shipped off for a 7th at the end of training camp.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very easy way to look at it, right? I think we are capable of seeing the context and the situation that was better for Malik Willis in Green Bay.
I know, but he didn't have to make as much progress as he did. He has made tremendous strides.
Yes, but again, it's like, let's not do the most reductive version of that conversation like we don't do with Vrabel. Oh, if Vrabel was still the coach of the Titans, they'd still be in the Super Bowl. Are we going to turn around and say if Malik Willis was still in Tennessee that he would be flashing the things that he flashed in Green Bay?
No, who said that?
I don't know.
Nobody said that. Although, you know what?
I can feel you getting there.
No, but I might make an argument closer to that because he was an appreciable. Blaine's talked about this. He was an appreciably better quarterback
he did get better
by the time he got shipped off here. Whether you want to attribute that to him, Callahan, Bo Hardigree, or whomever, Malik got better.
Yeah, no question about it.
Now, I don't know that it would have been, the Levis thing is just the unfortunate part of all of it.
But Spot Track has his average annual salary, their sort of calculated prediction for his market value at 35.5.
Good for Malik, man. That's awesome.
I think you can get caught number watching, though, if you just look at his stats flatly and say, well, in the regular season, he completed 85% of his passes. He didn't have any turnovers at 400 yards. But then go watch those games. LaFleur made it extremely easy on him. They did not give him a lot to diagnose.
And his legs were a huge part of the way that they were able to move the ball when he was in the game, right? And he did make some throws, but it's far less. Like, the degree of difficulty on Malik is not what it would be on your average quarterback. If he goes to a starting opportunity, it will be much harder for him. So it's an interesting offseason, and we'll keep tabs on these storylines. Obviously, we'll take your phone calls coming up next. We'll also get into a conversation about Cam Ward and the viability of him versus what we just saw the Seahawks do. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. 615-737-1045 is the number if you'd like to participate. We can get some phone calls. In the immediate, how about Chad in Nashville?
Hey, brother. I was going to talk a little bit about Kelsey, but then I got bored here in the last 10 minutes. You know, Jimmy Johnson created the draft charts where he put values on these draft charts, you know, and as you're building a team, I created something years ago on these tour buses traveling with a bunch of these musicians. It's called a hang chart. And basically what the hang chart is, it's like power of personality, and you put a 0 to a 10 on a human being. And let's say you got 10 guys in a limited 45-foot area. You can't have 100 on your final hang charts. You got too much personality. So same thing with a locker room. If you got 53 men, you can't have 530 power of personality. Same thing with your control room there. If you got 3 dudes, you got a 10 on all 3 dudes, you got 30, ain't going to work. So it creates for a good conversation going around the room and you know, if the boss, you know, requiring him, hey, what's your number on this guy? Well, he's probably an 8 or this guy's a 10. I'm a 10. So anyways, the hang chart, building your Titans, your thoughts.
Oh, on the Titans, or was he talking about the show? Thank you for the call.
I would be the 10.
You have a strong personality. I wouldn't say, it just depends on like what constitutes a 10. Is it just the strength of the personality? Or is 10 like the best possible personality?
I was kind of looking at it like a 10 would be someone who is super outward, super loud, super involved in leading, and then a 1 would be someone who is ultra reserved, quiet, does not give their input. And what he's saying is you can't just the same thing as you can't have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Like you have to have people that are underneath that to take the orders. You can't have so many people who want to get their opinion out.
Oh, so you're not a 10.
Yeah, I would probably be like an 8, be a 9.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as the Titans go, I mean, who is an outsized personality on the Titans?
I mean, they have 2 of them. They have 2 guys that I would label as a 9 or a 10. And
Cam is outsized, I would say.
Jeff is probably also outsized. He's probably a 9 or a 10. Like he's not going to shy away.
I don't think that Jeff is that. Like, I think Arden Key is a bigger personality than Jeffrey is.
Sure. I'd say he's high up, but I mean, and then you're going
Arden's
into
a 10 to me.
Are we just talking about being outgoing or like leadership?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is 10 the perfect?
No, I think it's personality type. I don't think it's like, oh, this guy's a great leader, so he's a 10. You could be a leader and be a 5.
Yeah.
I think, and that's why I think Arden, part of his, like.
Derek. I think Derek Henry is a leader, but he's a 5 because he doesn't lead vocal. I mean, Derek will.
Probably like a 2 or a 3, honestly, in terms
he's
of like.
He's very much an introvert.
Right. He's not going to, or Joe Flacco, like early in his career. An early Joe Flacco is probably a 2 or a 3.
Or Joe is now a 10.
He was always elite. We just couldn't see it.
Yeah. Corey is in Columbia.
Hey, Buck. I just wanted to ask you guys, I know you were talking about free agent quarterbacks that are going to be available, and it's kind of slim pickings. You know, with Levis coming off of his injury, I'm curious what you guys think the market might be for him, being that he did start a year in the league, if the Titans were to offer him, you know, available for trade. Do you think there would be any biting on it? Probably not going to get much in value for him, but would he be a viable option for somebody that was in need of a quarterback? Or do you think we're going to keep him as a backup?
I think it's more likely he ends up somewhere else than as a backup to Cam. If for no other reason than agents are going to get involved. Will's main agent, I believe, just got promoted to head of football at CAA, which is the power broker for all of these things. Jimmy Sexton, you know, Tory Dandy, all these names that you hear around the marketplace. Ed something. I'm blanking on the name of the agent. So I think it's more likely that Will ends up somewhere else in after the final preseason game. Now, if Dable does work some magic with him, And, I mean, because he's closer to the kind of quarterbacks that Dable has worked with than Cam is, right?
Why? Just because he uses his legs a little more?
Yeah. He's bigger, stronger arm. Not necessarily, he's not got the same kind of accuracy or ball placement that I would say Cam does. And I think that he's got and I don't mean this in a personal sense, but I mean in an on-field situation, Will's personality and mental makeup are miles away from what Cam Ward's are. Like, I think Cam Ward in a big spot makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Even if he's going to make some bad decisions in there, I trust him infinitely more in a critical game situation than I would Will Levis. But from a traits standpoint, Will looks a lot more like the kind of quarterbacks that Dable's worked with, right?
I guess so. I mean, I'm struggling to find similarities between Will Levis and
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He's not the athlete that Daniel Jones is.
Yeah.
Neither of them are.
Like Levis, would you call Will Levis a dual threat? I wouldn't necessarily. He's an athlete. He can get out and run, and sometimes to his own detriment. I guess he's a little like Jackson Dart in that regard.
He's more willing to run than Cam is.
Yeah, but I think...
And it's with way more reckless abandon. Like, he's flying off the sideline and breaking a chain gang member's leg.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not on purpose,
I would not label Will Levis as a dual-threat quarterback.
I wouldn't either.
I would probably label just about every quarterback Brian Dable's worked with over the last 7 years, going back to Alabama, as dual-threat quarterback.
He's closer to that than Cam is.
Sure.
Cam is a pocket passer by nature.
So Ben Solak wrote an article on ESPN about how QB-needy teams can approach this offseason market, which isn't great at the quarterback position. And he points out Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, obviously both are still under contract. And then he gets into the next tier, which is Malik Willis, who's a free agent, which is Kirk Cousins, who's expected to be released. And then the third tier, he calls the super deep indie cuts. And he leads with Will Levis and says the second-round pick has lost his job to Cam Ward, or lost his job to Ward the moment the Titans landed the first pick. In July, he underwent the season-ending shoulder surgery, now approaching the final year of his rookie deal. Solak writes, a disaster class artist so prolific he produced multiple screenshot-worthy reactions to his own turnovers. Levis is remembered worse than he actually played. He has prototypical size.
I don't think that's true. I think he's remembered accurately. maybe elsewhere in the country. And like I said, I'm not down on Will the person, but Will the player was exactly the way that I remember him. Like, it was fun, not for Titans fans.
Yeah.
Just as an entertainment value.
Fun
like
for everyone else.
Some of the things that he would do, you're like what? Just mind-boggling, right?
He writes he has prototypical size and good arm strength. Because the Titans front office and coaching staff are completely new, I would be stunned if he is not traded this offseason. I mean, we're talking about basically 2 administrations ago that Will Levis was drafted, right? It's Ray Carthon, Chad Brinker, and Mike Vrabel, and we're 2 head coaches past that.
Listen, I think that they very much did not want him. In fact, I know they very much did not want him to have the timing of the surgery was questionable. And I think it bothered a lot of people over there, okay?
Yeah, it was literally the day before training camp report day or something.
He's been in California basically since then. There's been no Will Levis Tennessee connection.
No, he appeared didn't Mike Borgonzi say that he was in the building?
No, that he talked to him on the phone.
Really? I could have sworn he said he was in the building.
We can go back and look at transcripts. I don't think Will has been here for quite some time.
But the other quarterbacks on the super deep indie cuts, he names Jalen Milroe, who was a rookie this past year with Seattle. Drew Lock also on that roster, and he was QB2 this season. So Milroe would have to be traded. Tanner McKee of the Eagles, Davis Mills of the Texans, Anthony Richardson of the Colts, Spencer Rattler, and he names Derek Carr, who is retired, and he names Garrett Nussmeier. saying if Fernando Mendoza is the obvious first pick and Simpson is the next man off the board, then the rest of the field is scrambling for a QB3 option. I would have Nussmeier above players like Carson Beck and Cade Klubnik.
Will's situation is compounded by the fact that, one, he made a decision that was in his best interest versus the team's best interest. And also, he's been getting advice about how to manipulate the situation in the best possible way that would indicate Will Levis getting another opportunity, right? This is what agents are for to an extent. They don't work for the team, right? They try to be good partners to an extent with the people that make these decisions, because obviously you have to be in negotiations with them and things like that. But Will Levis is getting advice on how to make a situation a little less tenable for the Titans to keep him. So in this particular situation, I think I don't think they're opposed at all to a cost-effective backup quarterback. He is not going to be your ideal. He's not going to be Brandon Allen. Right?
No.
He's not going to sit there and just, be happy to be there. That's not who Will is.
What stands out then when you think about potential landing spots for Will Levis? Is there anywhere that makes sense for a player like Will Levis, who you cannot call a reliable backup, but you could call a higher upside potential reclamation project?
If I was interested in seeing him succeed, I would love to see the Los Angeles Rams give him a look.
Back up there is Jimmy G. Stetson Bennett is also in the building.
I throw Stetson Bennett out. Stetson Bennett does not matter to me at all. Jimmy Garoppolo is a free agent. And I think that if you can use your draft picks around Stafford. Now, what would it cost to get Will Levis? Because the Rams do have 2 first-round draft picks. There's no world in which Will Levis, who was a second-round pick that they traded up for, goes for any kind of a first, even though he is a high-value position. He's not a high-value player.
So Solak does point that out. He kind of has breakdowns for each team in their quarterback situation, QB-needy teams. And this is for starters or backups. And he talks about the Rams. Matthew Stafford won the MVP, confirmed his return. But Solak writes, I don't trust his back at all, even and especially after the Iron Man season he just had. Basically saying Matthew Stafford, his availability all year makes you think, I don't know, law of averages, that at some point that's going to go the other way at the age of 37. He says the Rams' only youth at quarterback is Stetson Bennett, and as such, they could strongly pursue young backups on the trade market this offseason. Will Levis is a great fit, as is Tanner McKee, but I would wager McVay wants more playmaking at the position, so watch out for Anthony Richardson and Spencer Rattler as well.
The Richardson thing does not make sense. Richardson is not...
He and Levis, I feel like, are in somewhat of a similar boat. Where
I think I trust Will Levis more than I do Anthony Richardson. I've seen Will Levis manage a situation well enough. Richardson is such a boom or bust type of situation.
Well, they both kind of fall in this category in no team is putting chips in on them as a starter. Like somebody's going to gamble on Malik Willis, right? I think we pretty much expect somebody to gamble on Malik Willis as their starter next year, the way the Jets did on Justin Fields.
God, I hope he lands in a good situation. He deserves a good situation. Yeah. I'm not saying that Will doesn't. I'm just saying that it would be awesome to see Malik. Given the trajectory, I would like to see him succeed.
Nobody's going to gamble on Will Levis or Anthony Richardson and go in on them as their starter this year. They're also not exactly what you envision as your QB2, as somebody that can get you out of a bad spot, win a couple of games for you and your starter is down.
No.
They both fall under this nebulous potential reclamation project category. So the landing spot for both of them will be interesting.
Will has shown you more than Richardson did.
I don't know, man. The highs have been higher with Richardson, like the eye-popping stuff.
Well, yeah, 70 yards off his back foot. That's just him winging it.
We've
down
also
the field.
seen him against the Titans take over games with his legs as well.
And then get hurt.
Oh, sure. No, they both are extremely flawed.
God, but they're both so high risk. Like neither feels like a good option, right? But I think L.A. would make sense for Will, mostly just because I think he wants to be in California anyway. I think he wants to go sell mayonnaise to the good people of California at this point in his life.
So last year, if you're talking about expectations for a trade, 3 quarterbacks were traded in last year's season. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell.
And we were surprised by the Flacco thing. Like, the Flacco thing felt like more of an anomaly than either one of those other ones.
Within the division, too.
So, and they were acquiring a starting quarterback because Joe Burrow was out, right? They needed someone to get them through because the quarterback they had was not able to fill the gap. He was Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick for a 5th. And the rest of these happened in August before the season even started. That was the only in-season quarterback trade. Cleveland sent Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick into the 26th draft. And a day before that, Sam Howell was traded from the Eagles with a 6th-round pick for a 5 and a 7 from Minnesota. So a 5th-round pick is about the going rate, depending on what you want to look at, for a quarterback, whether they're going to be a starter or a backup. So I think that would be a little rich for Will Levis.
I would agree.
I think you would be looking more at send Will Levis in a 7th for a 6th, but that's about the going rate, or at least what the market was last year for a backup quarterback.
If you could get a 6th for Will, you'd probably feel pretty good about that.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Got a 7th for Malik.
Yeah, on that, I mean, and
he was drafted
a
lower.
Revisionist history situation is.
He was drafted lower. He did get better, but on tape, what he showed in the regular season, it felt like a win to get a 7th for Malik Willis. So yeah,
because
absolutely. You take a 6 for
They
Will.
probably would have just cut him, right? Like
Yeah, they weren't going to keep 3 quarterbacks.
I think I would be surprised if they just outright cut Will.
You would be surprised?
I think I would be.
You think they'd rather keep 3 quarterbacks, including Will Levis, and cost themselves a roster spot elsewhere? Well, in this situation, they have a backup quarterback in mind. That's not Will Levis.
Okay.
Didn't you just say that you don't see a scenario where Will Levis is Cam Ward's backup here?
I would be surprised by it, but I would also be surprised them just cutting bait and not trying to ride it out before the deadline.
So a note, the only quarterback that was traded before the deadline was Joe Flacco. The other ones were traded, as we noted, in preseason. So, one thing, Titans fans don't expect Will Levis to get traded on draft day.
Nope.
I don't think that happens because all of his value would come from a preseason showing. So, giving him time to play, but also giving other teams the opportunity to look at him and see where he could fit into what they're doing.
Yeah, because Malik got traded right after he was great against New Orleans. It was the final preseason game. Malik played probably the best. That's probably the best Malik Willis has ever looked. It was in that New Orleans Saints preseason game. Again, it's a preseason game against scrubs, but still, he showed the kind of things that would make somebody like Matt LaFleur pick up his attention and be like, I can work with that. I can make that happen. I don't know how many people are going to look at Will that way because the risk so outweighs the reward with him currently. Like, it would have to be a complete 180 as a player for you to be able to trust Will Levis. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to participate. You have an Olympic update?
I do have a Winter Olympic update.
Oh, we'll do that next.
The snow has freshly fallen. The luges are losing. The losers are losing. The winners are winning. And for that, we have an Olympic update with Lucas Panzica.
From beautiful Milano, the Winter Olympics are about 3 days in. And it is, can you guess, the nation, without looking it up, that currently leads the medal count?
Is it Russia?
China.
No.
Is it cold? Is it a cold country?
Yes.
Sweden?
Norway.
Think Vikings.
Sweden.
Oh, it's Norway. Yeah, you said it. It's Norway.
Yes, put me on
because
the
then he
podium.
gave you the prompt, and then you said Sweden, which is what I just said.
No.
Norway, who is actually tied with Italy in the total medal count, 11 medals apiece. Norway does lead the gold medal count with 6. Switzerland, 5 medals, 3 golds. The United States is tied for 6 with only 5 total medals and 2 golds.
Unacceptable.
But there could be more to come. So, yesterday, Switzerland Mathilde Grenard defended her title in women's free ski slopestyle. Jutta Leerdam of Netherlands broke the Olympic record on her way to gold in the women's 1,000 meter in speed skating.
I'm so glad he's doing this.
Also, are you familiar with the athlete that he just referenced?
I am not.
You soon will be.
What is she?
Do your research.
Frozen oatmeal.
I'll just tell you it's not AI.
What's her name again?
Jutta Leerdam.
Yep, I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
Jutta.
No idea if that's pronounced correctly.
It's not.
But there is hope for the United States as
Oh my God.
Correct.
the U.S.
This is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
That is the accurate response.
Give her all of the medals.
an Olympic record holder, as Robert gawks at her. U.S. mixed doubles curling duo of Corey Thies. Oh, I hope I'm saying that correctly. And Corey Dropkin, the 2 Corys, one with a C, one with a K.
I bet you butchered the second one more than you did the first, honestly.
Shot defending champion Italy to advance to the gold medal curling match to face Sweden. That is today. In fact, that may have already happened, or it is currently in progress. It was set to start at 11 a.m. Central Time. The mixed doubles curling gold medal match between the United States and Italy. If somebody could please check on the status of that while the U.S. tries to up its medal count and crawl out from the basement of 6th place, which is a basement, according to U.S. standards.
It's a 3-way tie for 6th place.
It's pretty feisty up there. It's getting feisty in Milan Cortina. So, what is y'all's favorite Olympic sport in the Winter Olympics?
Man, I really enjoy the alpine skiing. Like that and the ski. Is there a technical term for the ski jump event, or is it just called ski jumping?
I think there's some element of like freestyle in that because they're attempting tricks. So I'm not really sure on the genus of that event.
I'll just say skiing generally. Like hockey is awesome. I'm looking forward to the Olympic hockey. Your buddy Blue was telling us that the women's team is an absolute wagon.
They are. They're awesome. They
for the
destroyed Switzerland yesterday.
I have not gotten a chance to see the women's hockey team play a match yet. But I don't know. There's something about the speed at which they're moving. The wrecks. Obviously, you hate to see the wrecks happen, but they catch your attention. For me, it's the skiing.
I'd have to go with the luge. Watch the luge last night. They were going crazy.
We have an update.
Do we?
In the curling mixed doubles gold medal match.
Come on, give it to me.
The United States taking on Sweden.
Who is it?
They're tied at 2.
Come on! Come on!
They're tied at 2 apiece.
What do the Swedes have?
Let's do it!
Whatever that means for curling.
Crank it.
We're going to learn Thursday. Come on, Corey Thies and Corey Dropkin.
We need it! Come on!
God, it's so good.
Not quite yet.
It's not sweet victory yet.
It's 2-2 currently between the U.S. and Sweden in mixed doubles curling. Italy won the bronze over Norway earlier today in mixed doubles curling.
The YouTube chat has to be so confused by us.
Yeah, they don't get to hear this, SpongeBob.
Sweet Victory is such a good song.
We were listening to the end of it, and I was like, oh, what if that just fed into Sweet Victory? And it just worked so well.
So it's like that moron that accosted Robert last week by saying, just buy the rights to the song so we can hear it. You mouth breather.
I just told you that Sam Darnold's $71K would be a year and a half of my salary.
The United States women's hockey team destroyed Switzerland yesterday 5-0. They play Canada today at 1:10 p.m. Central Time. That game will be for the 1 seed in the knockout rounds of the women's hockey tournament. On the men's side, NHL players are participating in the Olympics for the first time since when? Little trivia.
1994.
No, way after that.
1999.
I'll give you a hint.
2001.
Oh, come on, you guys. Do it.
2014.
Thank you. Do we not remember the TJ Oshie moment in the
Why?
You are unbelievable.
I don't retain anything. You know this.
I thought OSHA was like a thing we had to pass.
You guys you shouldn't even be able to call yourself Americans. 2014, the last time NHL players participated in the Olympics. The United States get started on Thursday.
TJ Oshie still playing? Surely not.
Oh, I don't think
He's
so.
been around for 100 years.
Oshie, yeah, he is.
Oh, my God.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's 39 and retired. There are multiple Nashville Predators participating. Roman Josi, of course, is skating for Switzerland. Second time he participates in an Olympics. Philip Forsberg for Sweden. Erik Haula and Jussi Saros for Finland. And Predators head athletic trainer Kevin Morley is in Milan to serve as a trainer for Team USA.
Somebody said you're not even guessing Olympic years.
Y'all really don't remember that Olympics?
I don't remember anything.
USA, Canada, TJ. Oh, come on, man!
Sure.
Like one of the all-time great American Olympic.
Oh, is that the Miracle on Ice year?
I think I was still in college.
No, it was the Miracle.
Is that
on
the year
Ice
they made the documentary about?
Do you believe in miracles? Is that it?
Yeah.
Al Michaels?
Did we beat the Russians? And that wasn't even in the gold medal
1980.
game. That was in like the silver medal game, right?
Ugh.
I was still a junior in college in 2014. No way in hell I was paying attention.
Heck yeah. Olympics.
Yeah. That was fun.
Well, anyway, did you guys...
He's like legit mad at us.
I am. Oshie's performance in the penalty shootout against Russia. Like it is one of my formative sports memories. Whatever.
I'm sorry.
Have you guys...
What do you want us to do about it? He's literally just threw his hands up in the air.
Shocking.
It's the most Italian he's ever looked.
If you guys want something to laugh about, have you guys seen the double luge? Where people have to like stack on top of each other.
Yeah, it's great.
Look it up. Look up the double luge right now and go to Google
Like
Images.
I shouldn't look at it on
I
his
have
work computer.
so many questions about luging. How does one get into it? Is it better to be heavier? Is it better to be lighter?
Oh,
Do you go
what?
faster with two people?
How are they secured
They're
to one
literally
another?
just stacked on top of each
They're
other.
not secure. When I was watching last night, it was the women's, and they were saying that the women were all getting up to an average speed of 75 miles an hour.
No.
That's terrifying.
No brakes. No, like, can you imagine, like, the Lindsey Vonn woman who got hurt falling down the mountain was going 75 miles an hour. Imagine doing that in the luge.
Oh, my God.
The Lindsey Vonn woman who got hurt. You put some respect on her name.
We have really
She should have
made
listened to the doctors.
No. Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Stop it. We have made a mockery of this Olympic update.
Absolute mockery.
But anyway, I do have confirmation Thursday when we are at T-Line. If you'd like to join us, feel more than welcome to. You can go out there and learn how to curl.
Are the two of you going to do it?
Heck yeah.
Of course. You will also do it.
It's fine. It's just a two-person thing, right?
Well,
No,
it could be a three-man.
You definitely need a team. You need one person to push the rock, the stone, right? And two people to shovel.
But it could be two.
Yeah,
right?
you can do doubles. You can even do solos. You could do a solo.
Oh.
Where you push your own stone and then scrape for it. But
That sounds a lot.
I'm so excited.
I have had it confirmed with them that we will have a luge setup so we can do double luges.
Wait, what?
Yes. What do you mean?
I've been to T-Line.
I signed it up. It's me and Buck in the double luge, and then
Who's on top?
I would kind of prefer Lucas to ride with me because I would have more secure cushion with him on top.
Like, I feel like you would want to be on the bottom in that situation in case you wreck, so you have a meat shield.
Well, yeah, and you can throw that person off of you. See, if I was on top of Buck, he would just be smothered and covered like Waffle House hash brown.
We'll be at T-Line Thursday. We will be broadcasting live cover 2 and 3HL as well. You can come by, and you can be a seasoned curler. You can be a first-time sweeper that just wants to try it out. You can get a ticket for discounted ice time, 30-minute curling session, and an appetizer for just $25. Go to 1045thezone.com. We'll be out there Thursday all day having a great time. I can't wait.
Which one's Jake Paul? Is Jake Paul the WWE one or the one that got his jaw broke?
He's the faux boxer.
Yes.
Okay.
No, he's a real boxer.
Apparently, Jutta Leerdam is his girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh, his fiance. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Upset about looking at that. Lucas, can you look at the F&M Bank chat and read Christophero's comment? But it be you. Can you read it in a voice of chastising Buck and I for not knowing whatever?
Cristoforo in the F&M Bank chat says, "What's the matter for you?"
You don't know the.
You know what? That felt. It's not racist, but it felt a little bit discriminatory. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's only okay when I do it.
Neither
of you are allowed to do it.
When I said, what does Robert do? Bibbity boppity or whatever? Just yelling macaroni names of pasta at you.
Fazoli. The best Italian restaurant in Tennessee, Fazoli's.
Oh, God.
This Olympic update and segment is over.
Talk about some NFL free agency news next.
12:02, good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. The NFL season is officially over, and so is the coaching carousel. The Raiders have officially announced their next head coach and Seahawks offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, fresh off the Seahawks Super Bowl 60 victory. In college basketball, Alabama center Charles Bediako's injunction to continue playing this season was denied by an Alabama judge on Monday, ruling Bediako ineligible after he played in 5 games following his return to Bama from the G League. Bediako averaged 10 points and 4.6 rebounds in those games. Alabama went 3-2 in that span. Tonight, Vanderbilt looks to bounce back from a home loss to Oklahoma as they take on Auburn on the road. 6 p.m. is the tip-off. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So we are creeping up on free agency. It'll go down in about a month once the new league year begins. We will have the NFL Combine before that, of course, and the show will be up at the NFL Combine, which we're very much looking forward to. Robert has been plotting his takeover of Indianapolis for a week. Amongst all of the NFL, it's basically the NFL's spring break / convention, and where a lot of these free agent discussions start in earnest. Senior Bowl a little bit. Combine is where it really starts to pick up traction, even though that's technically outside of the legal tampering period. But we do have a little bit of free agent news that'll start to trickle out there as teams start to make their decisions, or as players start to make their decisions about what they want in their next opportunity. But we don't really see this kind of thing that often. Something from tight end David Njoku, who is set to hit the open market and move on from the Cleveland Browns. He's been there for 9 years, which is kind of crazy.
He got drafted as a 20-year-old, too. Is he 29 years old?
Yeah.
He was super young when he got there. Like, the parallels between him and Harold Fannin were insane.
So they do have Harold Fannin in Cleveland, and he's obviously one of the best rookies to be drafted this year. Cleveland, despite the quarterback situation, ended up with a pretty solid to above average rookie class. But you had Njoku post yesterday on his Instagram, quote, "Cleveland, first off, I love you. These 9 years have been a beautiful journey. I am so grateful for all the memories we shared together. Thank you to the Haslams, Andrew Berry, the whole Browns organization for everything. All my teammates I shared the battle with. I'm so grateful for you guys. The time for me to find a new home has come, and all I can think of is just the gratefulness in my heart. The city of Cleveland will forever be home. Chief out." So he's a first-round pick back in 2017. Again, he's been there for a long time. He's not done a lot of winning in Cleveland, though he was a part of that postseason push that they made when Baker Mayfield was still in Cleveland, and obviously a lot of things have transpired since then. 384 career receptions, 4,062 yards, 34 touchdowns. He is a freakish athlete when he's healthy. Like that's like the highest end version of what people wanted Chig or Jonnu to be, right? As Njoku, he's significantly bigger than those two are, and he's got a bit more versatility in terms of what he can do as a blocker. But he had 5 quarterbacks last season, started 5 quarterbacks last season to the Browns, had career highs, 81 catches, 882 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So, David Njoku deciding before Cleveland even really gets into the negotiation process, nah, I'm good. What is the market for somebody like that going to be? Because Robert, how would you lay out what we're getting ready to do next?
So something we'll do over the next couple of days is ranking the Titans' off-season needs in order of necessity. So we have them in 12 distinct different categories, everything from quarterback, running back, wide receiver to safeties, cornerbacks, and special teams. And we will go 12 to 1, ranking them. Starting today, we will go through our 12, 11, 10th, and 9th most necessary need of the offseason. And each of us give our reasons why and kind of go through that and use that as a tool to diagnose where we would rank, fans would rank, and the organization would rank their needs going into free agency and the draft.
Okay. So this is a relevant topic because what we talked about earlier, Robert said about 15% of the league's tight ends are about to be free agents.
Starting, not even all of them,
Right.
just like the registered starter quality snaps are about to hit free agency.
Yeah.
And
including Chig Okonkwo.
Chig is
who
one.
I found his statement on Instagram that
Chig
he put
or
out.
Njoku?
Chig.
Okay.
Chig from January 7th. So a little over a month ago. He said, "Damn, year 4 already in the books? Thank you, Jesus. It's been a blessing to put on this uniform and play the game that I love. Thank you to all that have supported me to this point. The journey continues," which is a little ambiguous because, as Lucas noted, he is a free agent who will be going out into the ether to see who wants to pay him for his services. If Chig is not brought back, it'd be interesting to see where we and fans rank tight end as a need going into the 2026 offseason.
Spotrac has the market value for David Njoku at what, do you think? AAV.
14.
Robert?
Maybe a little bit, maybe like 11.5, 11.
10. What do you think they have it for Chig?
That's kind of crazy.
That's a little low. For a veteran
If
like
Kyle
that.
Pitts is going to get out there and make $14 million, I'd rather have Njoku for 10.
Kyle Pitts is like 25, though, versus someone who's about to be 30. But tight end isn't a position where age necessarily dictates, hey, when you turn 30, you fall off a cliff. Like, look at Zach Ertz.
Right.
And Njoku does so much more than Kyle Pitts does.
Well, Njoku, yeah, like Robert said, turns 30 this summer and is coming off not a productive season, understanding the quarterback situation, but he also missed 5 games. What do you think the market value for Chig is?
6.
Yeah, that's about where I'd go, 5 to 6.
8.
That's dumb. He's literally, somebody in the chat said he's literally the exact same player as when he got here. And there's probably some nuances to his game that are worth noting, but like.
He came on later in the season, ended up having a career year.
Famously, Chig does not do anything but that, right? I'm still waiting for Chig Okonkwo to make, and again, I'm not down on Chig the person, but like he does not change anything about what they do as an offense with regularity. He's not a consistent player. He's not a game-changing player in any stretch of the imagination. Now, maybe you don't think Njoku or Kyle Pitts are game-changing players. They flash, right? They flash a hell of a lot more than Chig does.
Mm-hmm. And he flashed a bit towards the end of the season as well. Like some of the Titans, Cam Ward, some of his best moments during that month of December, Chig Okonkwo was a beneficiary of that in the back end of the season.
Some other tight ends who are making around that money, AAV, just to kind of compare where Chig would be at. Dawson Knox, Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, Mike Gesicki.
I'd rather have, well, I don't know about Gesicki. Gesicki's just a wide receiver.
Essentially, he's a big slot. I mean, would you argue that that's probably Chig's best suited position?
Big slot.
Like without the height, like he doesn't have the massive height that Gesicki or any of the.
Chig, what, 6'2"?
I would need to double check.
He's not much taller than I am.
6'3".
Okay.
So he doesn't have the height, but he is kind of maybe I'd say not a big slot, but maybe like a Y tight end, like someone that you can stretch out and not have to be an inline tight end. And the thing that Chig has working for him is that he's been incredibly consistent amid quarterback changes, offensive changes. Like he has still been a 400-yard receiver. And how many touchdowns did he have last year?
Not big on the touchdowns. He's got 8 in 4 years. He had 2 each of the last 2 years. He had 3 his rookie year.
So stupid consistent. You're getting a 400-yard, 2 touchdown.
And available.
And available.
Never missed a game.
He's very available, which matters.
So comparing the two, would you rather – I don't even think this is worth asking the question, but would you rather have David Njoku at $10 million a year or Chig at hypothetically 8?
In a heartbeat, Njoku.
What were the injuries that plagued him last year, though?
Wait, did he have that terrible burn situation last year, or was that a couple of years ago?
I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was a couple. Knee injury sidelined him for most of the season.
Okay. Was that the knee injury that he got against the Titans? Because he had a ridiculous touchdown catch against the Titans, didn't he?
Njoku this year?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'd have to go back and look at that game.
Maybe he had the knee injury early, because he definitely played in that Titans game.
He's missed now 11 games in the last 2 years.
he did have that crazy touchdown.
He got like smacked or something. It was just a ridiculous body control catch that he made in the back of the end zone.
1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
In the game against the Titans.
He missed 5 games last year, 6 games the year before. That's not exactly been Mike Borgonzi's MO when it comes to free agency.
Oh, I'm not saying that I would expect that they would go after him. I just think that you can get a lot more for your money than Chig.
And the knee injuries have been consistent each of the last 2 years for a player turning 30 this summer.
Okay, and knowing the tight end that you do have coming back in Gunnar Helm, not to branch too much in the conversation we're going to have in the coming days, but what type of tight end do they need to complement Gunnar Helm in your mind? Because Gunnar Helm is very much the inline, solid blocker, can do a little bit of everything.
A little something like Chig.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But not for $6 million or $8 million. Get out of here with that.
It's a little high. You would almost want them to dip back in the draft and find someone.
I'm convinced Chig's production is because they just don't have wide receivers.
That is a part of it, for sure. I mean, he should get the credit for being available and being consistent, but it is absolutely a factor. He ended up being their lead receiver.
Yeah.
With 560 yards.
My other negative is he came into the league and it was like, wow, like the Titans really have something in Chig. Like if this guy keeps growing, but he came into the league almost a finished product. Like we talked about ceiling and floor versus like Shuck and Cam Ward. Shuck obviously came into the league a more finished product than Cam did, but he also has less developmental runway. Like how much better can he get? Chig almost falls into that bucket where came in as a great player but doesn't have that much more to achieve.
Michael Russo on YouTube says, Helm deserves a chance to start. Well, yeah. I mean, he's going to start. Like, you need more than one tight end. How many teams are running out here in 2 tight end, 3 tight end sets? Like, don't get caught up in the idea. I mean, I'm sure. How different was the snap count between Chig and Helm? I bet it's not that different. Especially towards the end of the year, because Gunnar started to miss a little time with the toe injury at the end of the year. I think he got a toe injury in San Francisco, if I remember correctly, and may have missed. He didn't play in the last game. Maybe he missed one of the games at the end of the season. But I bet there's not a huge separation between Chig and Helm's snap count.
Helm played 53% of the offensive snaps, while Chig played 63% of the offensive snaps.
10% is not inconsequential, but it's, basically half the snaps are going to Chig, and a majority of the snaps are going to Chig, but it's not like Helm is, 30% or something like that.
We talk about the consistency of Chig over the last 2 years. Last year, he played 666 snaps on offense. The year before that, he played 665 snaps on offense. The year before that, he played 692 snaps on offense.
Yeah, there's nothing about Chig Okonkwo other than his availability, which, to his credit, is something that a lot of his teammates haven't had. There's nothing about Chig that makes him worth $6 to $8 million here.
It'll be interesting to see what he gets. I think there is a playmaking ability there that's going to earn him a deal.
Yeah, if you get him in space, he can get away. He can pull away from teams. There's no question. And whether it's a schematic issue that they've had here, a quarterback issue, a protection issue that doesn't allow them to let those kind of plays develop, like there's no question that Chig has traits. But is that trait right now worth that kind of money when you have so many greater needs everywhere?
I'm with you, but I'm just a little more cautious about David Njoku. I think we picture David Njoku at the peak of his powers when we talk about bringing him in here, and not a player that's missed 11 games in 2 years.
We're not having a conversation about bringing him in here, are we?
Well, just if they were interested or if they should be interested.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't be. Right?
Yeah, I'd be surprised. Again, it's not a route Mike Borgonzi has gone in free agency in his limited time so far.
We can talk to Mike Borgonzi about that in, 2 weeks at the Combine, when we will have Mike Borgonzi and Robert Saleh on the show. They'll obviously have press conferences as well up there in Indianapolis. All right, Robert, tease your segment.
We will be ranking the Titans' offseason needs in order of least valuable to most valuable, starting with 12 through 9, coming up next.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, HattieB.com, and the Hattie B's app. So as we start to approach draft territory, I think you could make a case, whether it's starter needs, depth needs, or what have you, you could make a case that the Titans have a need at just about every position on the roster, right? Whether it's backup quarterback to number one receiver or corner or whatever. So we're going to play this game. We're going to have an exercise over the course of the next few days where we rank the Titans' needs from back to front, breaking down all the main position groups on each side of the ball and special teams in a category of its own.
Yep.
Today, we are doing 12, 11, 10, and 9, the bottom tier, what the Titans need the least, taking into account starters, depth, and all of these things as we get ready for free agency, which will obviously come pre-draft. So we'll go around the room. We'll get right into it. What is the lightest need for the Titans? What ranks at 12, Buck, to you as the, let's say, lowest priority of the offseason?
Running back. I would put running back squarely last on that list. I understand that there are people who are interested in Kenneth Walker. I understand there are people who are interested in Jeremiah Love in the draft. I think Tony Pollard needs more help. Tony Pollard is a good player. I think Tajay Spears, Bijan Robinson is the only player who forced more missed tackles than Tajay Spears this year. I saw that stat floating around on the internet. I believe it was Ian Hartitz who had it. Tajay is an interesting player as far as the utilization. You'd like to see them in a situation where they can control the game a bit more, and then they also have Kalel Mullings. Chestnut will be I believe he is an unrestricted free agent at this point in his career. So your fourth man on the depth chart, whatever. But there is no need for an additional running back for what this team currently is. I think Tony can get the job done with Tajay just fine. I would like to see a little bit more of a split in their deployment, and I'm fine with seeing a little bit more Tajay than Pollard at points as Tony continues to get up there in age. But it's ridiculous to think that they need that running back is anywhere close to the top of their needs, much less something that should be prioritized this offseason.
Pollard will be 29 in April.
Final year of his contract.
Yeah, he'll be 29 at the start of the season. Coming off that career year at 1,082 yards, he averaged 4.5 yards per carry and had 5 touchdowns. Tajay Spears, a year after he missed 4 games, had 283 on the ground, 264 in the air, 2 total touchdowns. Robert, do you agree?
Or disagree before? Yeah.
I have that much, much higher. In fact, 50% higher than you do. But I can understand why you would have that. Like, surface level, I agree. They don't need an immediate need. They don't have an immediate need or need help at that position.
Can't get everything done this offseason. I'm willing to put running back up. I'm willing to table the running back position.
But I do think they eventually will need a succession pick. Sure. Where it's like, okay, as you mentioned, Tony Pollard, final year of his career. Tajay Spears, not getting any younger. Not getting any fresher. If they wanted to add someone like similar to Kalel Mullings, where they drafted him at, I would not be opposed to that, but I have it a little bit higher than you do.
They could level up from what they have now, no question, but I agree in principle that it is not a pressing issue at this point.
What's your 12, Lucas?
What's your 12?
What's my 12?
What's your 12?
I would go with safety at my 12.
Whoa.
They've got Kevin Winston Jr., they have Amani Hooker under contract, and they have Xavier Woods for 1 more year under contract. I think 3 to make 2 is a good number. They also have Sanusi Kane, who they poached off the Ravens practice squad. They have a number of people that they could play at special teams positions and depth. I like the way safety is shaped out. They have both rookie investment and contract investment. I don't think they need to go in deeply to make another one of those players, one of the higher played or higher drafted players on the team. I would go with safety at 12. I think that is their notably least necessary position.
I also have running back for what it's worth.
At 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your argument for safety?
Kevin Winston Jr. is an idea. He's not yet a real player to me. He's shown some things. And obviously, what undid him more than anything at the start of the year and at the end of the year?
Injuries.
He's hurt.
Which isn't like a common thing with him. It just necessarily happened where he got hurt in college, had to get prepared to do that in the NFL, and then got hurt again in his rookie season.
His time as a professional athlete, I most associate with him being hurt. Now, That's not fair because it doesn't guarantee that he'll be hurt the rest of his career. Or it could go the way of Tajay Spears, where he's good to miss a couple of games, 3-4 games every year, right? I think Amani Hooker needs a hell of a lot more help on the back end. I am excited about the idea of Kevin Winston Jr., but I have been through too many Titans drafts to traffic in potential for longer than need be. Now, I'm not saying you need to spend another third-round pick on a safety. And he was a high proposition upside. Like, it was a winning position to take Kevin Winston in the third round due to his injury. Sanusi, it's so hard to judge that secondary with as god-awful as their corner situation was. It's really tough. And I'm not down on Sanusi Kane, who ended up playing more football for them down the stretch because everybody at the end of the year just got hurt. But I would probably, I'm not going to push it so much further up the list, but I'll tell you I don't have it in my bottom 4.
Okay. And that's why I like this, because we kind of get to see everyone else's expectations for the position and how we can equal those out. So right now, both of you have running back as the least valuable position going into the offseason for the Titans this year.
Yes.
Okay.
The least pressing.
I would not prioritize it.
Right. Yeah. I would not fight you on that.
At 11, what do you have, Buck?
I have linebacker, off-ball linebacker.
Did you just copy my list?
No.
Is that what happened here?
I just made it.
I kind of like that you guys are going the same because I'm going completely opposite.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Now, I will say, subject to change, because Cody Barton is in a situation where they could cut him, and the thing that we know the least is Cedric Gray, who was good last year, viable in a Robert Saleh defense? Is Cody Barton viable in a Robert Saleh? This could completely change. Like, this could go from 11 for me to, like, 3 or 4, depending on how they view the current construction of the roster, because the depth chart right now looks like this. Barton and Gray, James Williams Jr., they do technically have Dorian Mousey under contract into next season. And then you've got guys who were who were injured. The Bocce guy who they signed late in the year, who's an unrestricted free agent. And then Anthony Orji, I believe they still have the rights.
He's an ERFA, so they can tender him or choose not to tender him.
And he's a player with starting experience. Now, they could come in and say, new defense, new coaching staff, get it all out of here. Don't care about Cedric Gray's 100-plus tackles last year.
Or they could bring back someone like Cody Barton, who will be 29 until November, where he turns 30, and is some returning leadership on defense. They do have an out there that they could take on $6.4 million in dead cap if they cut him loose. His cap hit is $8.2 million in 2026. It's not like Cody Barton weighs you down in a year where the Titans have a ton of room to maneuver. And Cedric Gray is very much an ascending player, the type of player, even though he wasn't drafted by Mike Borgonzi, but the type of player they're trying to build around.
I think that's a huge strike against him. It's a new coaching staff that he was drafted under and a new front office that he was drafted under. That does not typically bode well for those kind of players.
Yeah, but at some point, like, you're just working against yourself if you're just going to cut ties with anybody that wasn't drafted by this administration.
Didn't stop them last year at the deadline.
Yep, that's what they did with Jarvis Brownlee. I totally understand that. But at some point, like, you can't just keep doing that to your own detriment and creating more needs for yourself, especially when a player like Cedric Gray took as big of a step as he took in 2025. I'd be very surprised.
Again, I'm inclined to agree with you based on where I ranked it, but if they come in here and decide, no, then this could completely change the conversation.
Like, my foolish little non-ball knowing mind views Cedric Gray as somebody that could fit in well in a Robert Saleh defense where the identity is about winning up front with 4 and giving Cedric Gray room to go hunt and rack up tackles.
Guy.
But he can rack up tackles. He goes and he finds the football. Like, to me, Cedric Gray feels like somebody smarter than me. I would love to come on and talk about this. A good fit in a Robert Saleh defense, but I'm with you that linebacker right now is not a pressing need on defense.
At 11, I have special teams. And a lot of that was because Bones Fossil is coming back. While they do have a need at punter and kicker, they could bring Johnny Hecker and Joey Sly back. But whatever decision they make, I have confidence that Bones would be able to find the right guy for the position. This number is also lower for me because of returner and how good DK was at the position. So my trust level is very high for Bones. I trust that he will be able to, one, field a good return unit and also a special teams unit, and trust him to go out and either Re-sign Hecker. Did you see enough from him that you trust him going forward? He wasn't this special trick play directional punter that he was advertised as in his elder years, but I do trust Bones to get that right. So I have a special teams at 11.
That's a weird one, right? Because they do technically need a kicker and a punter. They do not have one right now.
Sly and Morgan Cox are all unrestricted free agents. Now, for what it's worth, and I don't know that this means that they're all coming back, but all three of them were at the press conference for Robert Saleh.
Yeah. So, but I'm with Robert on that. Like, it is technically a need because they don't have them currently under contract, but you trust that operation under Bones Foster.
It's 10th for me. It's just one spot above yours.
Same.
Just because all three of them are free agents, and DK's good.
Okay, so both of you at 10 have special teams.
We have the exact, Buck and I have the same bottom.
I literally made this list while we were coming back from commercial break, even though you told me to do it before the show.
That's fine, because I have a different take on this.
Okay.
I have quarterback at 10. While they do have Cam, they do have a tradable asset in Will Levis, I agree with Buck. I don't think that you would want to go into the season where he is your primary backup because of the function of a backup quarterback, helping the starter prepare. What is your experience with these things? What's your experience going against these types of defenses? I think they should go out and get a veteran who is not Brandon Allen. They should go out and get someone who has experience playing in the league and not experience being a backup. I wouldn't be upset about a Joe Flacco, a Jameis Winston.
Oh, give me Jameis.
It would be so good for
God.
us, just from a content standpoint. But quarterback, not a huge need, but I do see the value in it, not only for the team, but also for Cam from a preparation standpoint. So I have quarterback squarely at 10. So just to review, you two have the exact same list so far.
Yep.
With, remind me of the order. At
running
12,
back, off-ball linebacker, special teams.
So running back at 12, off-ball linebacker at 11, and then special teams at 10. Yep. I have safety at 12, special teams at 11, quarterback at 10. So who do you guys have in our final position for today at number 9?
Now, this is going to be probably polarizing for the audience, but I have offensive tackle. You've got your starting two for at least the upcoming season, right? It's J.C. Latham on the right side. It's Dan Moore on the left side. The depth there, nobody has good tackle depth, right? Like, it's a very, very rare thing. Maybe the Eagles had it one year where they had Dillard as a first-round pick off the bench, but, I mean, again, you could question the quality of the tackle depth in that particular situation. Right now, the depth chart at tackle for the Titans is Oli Udoh, who's a free agent, and Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon, who is one of their UDFAs, in fact, a UDFA that they prioritized and gave a significant amount of money to. He played a little bit this year.
He was a healthy scratch, I feel like, for the bulk of the season.
He came in and out. They did the weird tackle rotation thing. Again, I'm fascinated to see. They're dealing with a new offensive line coach. And so does that mean a good thing for Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon? Will that further their development? Or will they look at this year's UDFA class and be like, no, that's a better fit. That guy's more ready to do what we need him to do than this guy who was selected or brought in under Bill Callahan for all the good it did him. But as a starting two, and understanding that nobody has good tackle depth, I'm not, for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm not screaming about the tackles because Dan Moore and J.C. Latham, despite the penalty situation for J.C., did play better football as we got later in the year.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and I almost put offensive tackle in my bottom 4. It's barely outside of it, which we'll get to on another day. But that's one that even if I had put it in my bottom 4, I would have said offensive tackle, not a huge need for this team. I'm still okay with them addressing it in the draft.
Sure.
Like, I'm good with them taking an offensive tackle with their second-round pick. I'm good with them investing in that position this offseason. We didn't even get to this. Whose mock draft did we look at last week? Was it Brugler?
No, it was Daniel Jeremiah. Had them taking Malagoa.
No. Right. That was the first one we looked at. But last week on Mock Draft Monday, I want to say we looked at Brugler's first mock draft, and we discussed him mocking Ruben Bain to the Titans at 4. We did not discuss him mocking not Francis Malgoa, Caden Proctor to the Titans with their second round
We didn't
pick.
talk about it, no. You're right.
And if they don't love some of the receivers there at the top of the second round,
I'm for best player available.
I'm good with it. I'm totally good with it.
But they don't have a starting guard. We'll see what they do with Cushenberry right now. Now, J.C. Slater not J.C. Slater. What's his name? Jackson Slater. Who's J.C. Slater?
That's the guy off Saved by the Bell.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent wrestler.
I have quarterback as my 9th biggest need for a lot of the same reasons that Robert said. It is a need. You do not have a reliable backup quarterback, but there's always that caveat there that if your starter goes down, your ceiling is dropped significantly, so it's hard for me to place it much higher than 9th in these rankings.
People are going to bitch and moan when I put it inside of my top 5.
Yeah, I would probably also bitch and moan about that. But I don't disagree with you about tackle, though, because as far as game day activations go, like your live 48, very rarely do teams go into the games with 4 tackles active.
Yeah.
And they feel pretty confident. If you think that Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon can be your swing and your backup, I think they go into the season with 3 to make 4, potentially. So
you'd love for them to be in a situation where they have the luxury to pick, right, between Crenshaw-Dixon and, a tackle to be named later.
At 9, sorry, Lucas, did you have another thing?
No, I was going to ask you.
At 9, I have linebacker. And it is because I trust Robert Saleh to find the right situation to put one of the different bodies they have currently in the position to win. So that being James Williams, Cedric Gray, and Cody Barton. I feel like he would be able to type match each one of those linebackers to whatever need he would have to fulfill. And if you look at his tenure with the Jets, when he had C.J. Mosley was an inheritance, a hangover from the previous Jets administration. And he opted out during COVID, didn't play a lot. But when he did, he was kind of an Iron Man for them, played really well. And it was very similar to his tenure with the Ravens. Like, wasn't an excellent cover man, but you could put him in those situations if you had to.
Well, also, Baltimore wasn't going to pay him, right?
He got paid a buttload
he got a ton of money.
Cash. Ozzie talked about how painful it was to not be able to re-sign him, but also allowing a player to go make the money that someone is willing to pay you. And then Quincy Williams, who was the starter for the Jets until I believe he was benched at some point last year. There was a big stink about it, but they snagged him off waivers from the Jags. So his ability to find a guy that fits, I trust that, similar to I trust Bones to find the special teams contributors, kickers, punters, long snappers, gunners, whoever. I trust Saleh to find the guy who would fill that need if it's not already on the roster without investing a lot of time or draft capital or money into that position. So we have our 12 to 9.
So we're going to do this again tomorrow with 8 through 5?
That is correct, where I think we'll get into a much deeper discussion but between us about where the needs really lie, because it's really easy for people to go, yep, this is the number one need. This is they definitely need this.
Yeah.
But when you get to the middle of it, you're not taking all needs in the draft. You're not taking all needs in free agency. It's building the belly and the meat of your team. And that's the stuff that fascinates me, how we would stack those up. But I think this was a fun exercise.
I'm so prepared for a fight when I put quarterback in the top 4.
If we go through tomorrow and Buck does not list quarterback or special teams, if we get to our top 4 and Buck's like, number one need, quarterback.
Wait.
Just set it all on fire. This whole exercise just set it all on fire.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, last call for phone calls if you got them, 615-737-1045. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone.
Hey guys, it's Lucas to tell you about Hattie B's Hot Chicken, which certainly fueled our big game watch party this past Sunday. And if it didn't fuel yours, that's okay, because you can swing by any one of their Middle Tennessee locations for lunch. If you have a friend in town this weekend, for brunch at the factory at Franklin, of course, Lower Broadway, Melrose, Midtown, Nashville West, even the Nashville Airport has you covered. Catching a concert at Nissan Stadium, there is a Hattie B's for you there. Open daily at 11 a.m., like I said, besides the factory at Franklin, which on weekends is open at 7 a.m. for breakfast. And if you want to skip the line, download the Hattie B's app today. You can start to build up rewards fast. You get a free dessert simply by downloading the app. A family-run restaurant serving up your favorite Southern food and authentic Nashville hot chicken. Believe me, I would not lead you astray when it comes to food. They prioritize the size, which, if you're like me, is important to you. Download the Hattie B's app today or head to HattieB.com.
We have terrible news. Sweden won the gold.
I hate this.
It's very distorted. It's dystopian sounding.
Yeah. What did you look up?
I just slowed it down to like 50%. Boom.
Sweden has taken mixed doubles curling gold over the United States by a final of 6-5.
I can't keep watching this team, Daddy. I can't keep watching this team.
We will avenge you on Thursday, Sweden.
Who? Who is going to avenge them?
Robert and I. When we take on who? Who are we facing off with when we curl at T-Line Thursday in Antioch?
Again, I feel like the two of you, it's not in Antioch. It's in West Nashville.
That's what I said.
It's nowhere close to Antioch.
That's what I said, West Nashville.
The complete opposite direction.
I hope it's Zach and
No way
Joseph to give us a chance. Can you imagine if it was like Blaine? I bet is going to be a dynamo
for sure
at curl. I do not want to play Blaine in the gold medal round.
I think Lucas is going to tear his ACL or something.
Don't say that.
Wildly unathletic.
We have to sign waivers.
He can't walk up the stairs without twisting his ankle.
I definitely can't skate, but this is not skating.
No, it's harder.
What kind of shoes do you wear?
They have. I'm glad you asked. They have
shoes.
They have slip covers.
Yeah.
So covers that you tell them what size shoe you wear, similar to bowling, and they give you a cover for your shoe. When we had our company not so holiday Christmas party there last week, Cheyenne was out there looking like a dynamo. She just can't be stopped. Everything she tries, she's good at. I hate it.
Since Lucas and me and Ramon and
Slay and Dawn and Brent and Zach and Blaine and.
Do you have any
Joseph
holiday party stories to regale us with since none of us went?
Nah, you had to be there. I will say a mistletoe was hung with care.
In February.
And Cheyenne and I awkwardly made out in the corner of the party. They're not even under the mistletoe. Get a room. They have a bowling alley there, too, if you guys would like to get bowling.
And it's like real bowling.
Awesome.
It's not like duck bowling.
Those damn Swedes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
There's two things I can't stand, Lucas. It's someone that is intolerant of other people's culture, and the Swedes. Can't stand them.
I feel like you're intolerant of a lot of other people's cultures.
What do you mean? I'm in here. I am into Bad Bunny because of Lucas. I love fine Italian meats and cheeses because of Lucas.
I've opened his mind.
Whatever you are.
I've never taken you out for Mediterranean food, but there's some really good spots in
I believe it. Where's your what is it? Olives and cheese? I'm down with that.
Olives, cheese. You do a little stuffed lamb with grape leaves wrapped around it. Oof, so good. Little kufta, little kebab.
What'd you call me?
Now, the United States,
look it up. It'll be good for you.
A lakufta?
Despite the gold medal loss, does pick up silver and moves up the board slightly to sole possession of fifth in the medal count with 7 total. Or no, excuse me, second. No, this is all over the place. What is this list I'm looking at? Tied for second in the medal count with Japan. 7 apiece. But we only have 2 golds.
Now I can't trust anything that he says in his Olympic update because I don't know if he's reading, goldmedals.com or something like that.
They're ranking it by who has the most gold medals instead of total medals. Norway has the most either way.
How the hell do you spell lakufta?
There's no L.
Oh, my mic's on.
Kufta.
Oh, it's just kufta.
Yeah, thank God you didn't say something problematic.
Okay, I 100% would
You
have been
left
like.
my mic on the other day. Apparently, we had a hot mic moment where it's just Lucas screaming, "Oh yeah, it's K-pop."
Oh, we were talking about what the next Super Bowl halftime show is going to be.
You guys are both grown-ups, and you can cut your mics off.
I feel like we're the only...
We do agree, right, that that's the next version of the Super Bowl halftime?
No.
They try to get more international.
No.
It's going to be BTS?
Oh, no, it's not. Next year, I will put any amount of money on it that you want.
In Los Angeles?
Sabrina Carpenter.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I'm down.
Or Dua Lipa. I would be down with
my.
Oh, and see, she's
Are
international.
either of them big? Dua Lipa is.
Sabrina Carpenter, the reason she
Okay, relax. Just because she's your crush, all right?
She's big enough.
Oh, she's
one of the biggest artists on the planet. How dare you?
Sabrina Carpenter opened for Taylor Swift during her whole big shebang, so that's where she caught on.
So you think they're going to try to hook Taylor, throw a little Sabrina Carpenter out there?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if they were going to, it's like, hey, we can't get Taylor Swift, but we can get Sabrina Carpenter.
Dua would appeal more to an international crowd, I would think. Dua is massive everywhere. But, I mean, Espresso was a global hit.
Would you calm down?
So our newest producer wants to say, what about Tate McRae? I feel like
you won't let him turn the microphone off?
No, I can't. I refuse to. We were going to start a hill to climb.
You're right. We let Ross talk far too much, and now he won't shut the hell up on cover 2.
What?
Stop talking.
What? What about Tate McRae? Does she enter y'all's upper echelon pop stars? Because I do think, like,
what
every
does
time
she sing? I don't think I can name a song.
That's my point. Cheyenne was like, "Oh, you know her songs." I was like, "I don't. I just know she's very attractive."
She's the Canadian?
And used to date Kid LaCroix. Or Kid Leroy.
Whatever his name is.
Kid
LaCroix. Like the fizzy drink?
I sound so old. Kid LaCroix.
This is what's going to happen to us. This is what's going to happen to us.
I can't get the Tate McRae thing. I have a hard time getting into her.
What does
music.
she sing?
She sings the, and you want me, I'm going to love myself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's that one. The sports car song.
So she's like, of the pop star echelon, right? She's below Sabrina Carpenter.
Well below.
She's below. Who's the famous director that has a daughter that's singing pop music right now?
M. Night Shyamalan?
No.
Who did
the Transformers?
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay?
No. Damn it. I'm going to have to look this up. Why don't you play the polls and I'll look this up?
It's got to be Dua Lipa.
Okay. We get it. You love Dua Lipa.
I know what would put a smile on Lucas's face.
It's doing more than a smile for him over there.
Presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. What in sports made you say, oh no? Steven says, losing my bet on that holding call in the Super Bowl cost him some money, the holding on the long Kenneth Walker touchdown run.
Mine was Jordan Hudson's Orchids of Asia T-shirt at the North Carolina Duke game in reference to Bob Kraft's prostitution sting scandal.
Karen says Lindsey Vonn breaking her leg.
Gracie Abrams.
Oh, J.J. Abrams' daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nepo baby.
Chris.
Kind of got some bops, though.
She's
not
good.
in like the promiscuous way.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
Chris says the arm punt by Drake May in the 4th.
Oh, no, we're not doing this. We're not calling bad throws arm punts.
That's not an arm punt. It's just an awful interception.
Horrible.
Arm punt.
Dude caught it like a center fielder. What is the most important component of a championship NFL team? Brian says a solid offensive and defensive line. Eldon says defense. A good defense will guarantee a top 10 quarterback a chance at a Super Bowl. The answer is all of it. Yeah. You just need all of it.
A good football team.
Revisionist history, would you pick Sam Darnold in free agency and the Giants trade package, or would you draft Cam Ward at 1? How lazy are you that you couldn't have just made 2 options for the poll? This isn't actually a poll. Nobody replied. And those are the polls.
All right, very good. See you tomorrow.